If you want to pursue an undergraduate course or master's or a doctoral degree from a highly recognized school or college or a university, you must have come across a document called as Statement of Purpose, which is often asked along with your application. A statement of purpose, or SOP in short, is one of the most important documents asked by universities based on which the selection committee judge your motivation behind choosing a particular career path and suitability for that particular program or degree. Some universities ask for a statement of motivation or letter of intent, which are more or less same as statement of purpose or SOP. In today's video of research and publishing series of Xplore Bio, you will learn how to write a perfect statement of purpose that will make your application stand out from crowd and increase your chances of selection. I will also mention some of the very useful tips to make your SOP writing easy and effective and some of the common mistakes that must be avoided. So watch the video till the end. Each year, hundreds and thousands of applications are received by colleges and universities for a particular degree or a course. But as the seats are limited, not all can get enrolled. Your academic profile you mentioned in your CV is one of the important factors that help in screening your application. You can learn more about how to write a perfect CV in my another video. I have provided the link in the description below. Apart from the academic record that you mentioned in the CV, one of the important ways selection and admission committee chooses to shortlist the application is by looking at your statement of purpose. But the problem is most of the students do not take it seriously. They often copy paste the same content from their friends or from the internet, or they just use the same SOP for different applications or universities. But one must understand that the screening committee comprises of experts and they can easily figure out such applications and filters them out. So make sure you put an extra effort to make your SOP more genuine that reflects your true intent of applying for that program. Also, an SOP provides you an additional opportunity to showcase your personality that could not be reflected by a CV. An SOP bridges your past, present, and future. Therefore, it should always go in a flow covering your past experience, present involvements, and future goals. Here is an outline or a roadmap to write a perfect SOP. First, you mention about your past and the present. Then you mention about your motivation behind opting this particular mentor, course, or university. Next, you have to connect your past and present with the future. Next, you have to mention that it is a two-way benefit for you and for the university as well. At last, you have to conclude. Now, without any delay, let's learn about all these in a step-by-step manner. Start your SOP mentioning your past. If there is any incidents or experience you had that drove you to choose a particular career path, mention it. What motivated you to choose your past degree? Mention about any subject or area you were specifically interested in. What did you learn during that course? What skills you acquired? What techniques you learned? Depending upon the course or the degree you are opting for, choose what would be more important and relevant for the selection committee. Do not repeat everything you mentioned in your CV, just a few things that are important to be highlighted. Evaluators can refer every other information from your CV itself. Mention the relevance of trainings and workshops if you have attended any. If you have already done some research project, mention its significance, major outcomes and implications. You can mention the name of any professor you have worked with and any of the key lessons that you learned from him or her that you would remember throughout your life. You can indirectly highlight your key personality traits too, connecting it with your work, but do not overdo it. If you are currently in the middle of or at the verge of a program or a project, briefly talk about it in a similar way. In the second paragraph, mention why you want to opt for this particular course from this particular college or university. To answer this, first you must know your motivation and interest behind that course that should align to your ultimate goal in life. Second, you should have critically gone through the course and university details very well. Let the selection committee know that you are well aware of the course and the university. If you want to do PhD under a particular supervisor, you should do extra research about his background, his current work and interest. In the SOP, mention his name and why you want to work with that particular supervisor. You can mention about the research facilities and collaboration of that professor. It would be even better if you make a previous contact with the professor about your interest in working with him and ask if he could provide you the recommendation. This shows your desire for research and sincerity as well. In the third paragraph, link to establish a connection of your past experience and the course you attended with the future course you are interested to pursue. How you relate your past and the future. In this paragraph, you should emphasize on how your previous experience and motivation for the course aligns to your goals. Suppose in your previous research you found a particular pathogen which is responsible for a particular disease symptom leading to loss of agricultural productivity, and your future interest could be to study what might be the reason behind this. Or you may want to develop a better variety that would be resistant for the disease. If there are certain skills required that you do not have currently, you can definitely learn during the course. There might be a situation where you want to switch and make a completely different career. For example, you would like to switch from plant sciences to animal sciences or vice versa. Under such cases, you need to have a strong reason to convince the committee why you want to switch your research field. Just remember to sound authentic while writing every section of an SOP. You can also mention your plans after studying this course, for example, going for a higher degree or postdoc or joining a particular industry. This will reflect your clarity about your future goals. The next section is about mutualism. It should be a two-way benefit. Mention what you will get from the program and at the same time how you will contribute during the program to the university or to the supervisor's lab. For example, you will attain certain knowledge or skills during this course. At the same time, how you will be an asset to your supervisor or your willingness to participate in certain scientific or social activities can also be mentioned. Conclude your SOP positively with 2 or 3 statements. It may be how this would be a great opportunity for you that would help you develop as a better person or professional or researcher to fulfill your future goals, and how you will be helpful for the society. Now let's talk about some of the common mistakes that should be avoided and some useful tips for writing an SOP. Number one mistake is copying the entire content or sections of SOP from others or from the internet. One of the easiest thing is copying, but it lacks connection and personal touch. And as I have mentioned earlier that the selection committee comprises of experts, they can easily figure out copied and fake SOPs. And similarly, getting an SOP made by others or outsourcing it would also lack your personality traits. You should definitely refer to some good SOPs to get an idea about how to write an SOP if you find it difficult. The next common mistake is one SOP for all. Students often make one SOP and use it for different programs or universities or mentors. That is not going to make you succeed. You need to highlight your motivation for a particular degree or a particular supervisor or a particular research field or course. So you should edit and customize SOP for individual applications. Do not keep it general or obvious like most of the candidates. Rather, highlight your uniqueness, your motivation, your interest to opt for that program. Keep it simple yet professional. No need to use fancy English, no need to use jargons. Your English just need to be simple with no grammatical typos and punctuation errors. Do not wait for the end moment. Start early, give at least a few weeks time for drafting, editing and analyzing your SOP. Check for the flow and connectivity. Get it proofread by your colleagues and supervisor. Work on their comments and corrections and finally come up with a final version. If no guidelines are provided to you, you should limit it to maximum 2 pages. Never criticize or complain about your past university or mentor for the problems you faced. Focus on the positives and what you learned. This reflects your attitude. Also, the committee does not want you to spread negative words about their university. So that's all for the today's video. I am sure this video will help you to succeed in your application. If you find the information useful, do share it with others. Comment and email me about your requests or queries. Check out my other videos on research and publishing, techniques, markers, genomics, plant tissue culture and others. Thanks and stay connected.